you jump in your boat, row, row, row. Jump in your boat, row, row, row. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like you knew it would. You gotta aim high and go for your pie in the sky. Go ahead and trust yourself. Everything could right itself. You alright? Oh, you never know just how life is gonna go. So you jump in your boat and row, row, row. Jump in your boat and row, row, row. Everybody, something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like you knew it would. All right, I knew it. Yay! Isn't it a lovely day in the neighborhood for show number 102. 102. And I just want to explain my fabulous outfit. It has been the gecko season here in Gulfport, and as you can see, I'm turning into a gecko. And we had the gecko ball last night in town, and we all dressed up as characters. I was a character from Candyland called Gloop from the swamp. Like somehow I got to be the pile of gloop. Anyways, it was a very good time. And next Saturday is Gecko Fest in downtown Gulfport. The streets will be alive, and I will be performing starting at 10 o'clock on the north stage, but there's music all day and fun and festivities. Yeah, if you're gonna wear a sparkly dress and green leotard, you might as well get 2 days use out of it.
Nice.
That's what I think.
That's tomorrow?
No, the Gecko Fest is next. The ball was last night, but the performance downtown, Big Gecko Fest, is Saturday the 3rd.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday, yeah. And I perform at 10. I always perform early. Duke, can I get you to join me on the stage?
Sure.
We've got all sorts of guests today. One of whom is my friend and neighbor, Duke McComis. So nice to see you.
Thanks.
How are you?
Good.
Oh, well, good. Glad
A
to hear
little
that.
bit distracted. I put my guitar pick down somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Oh, Lord, is there a guitar pick sitting around somewhere? Somebody see one? There was a tan-colored one. We need to find a guitar pick.
No, got it.
Oh, we got it. Well, see, I told you things just solve themselves
It's in my pocket.
all the time. We were talking the other day that we were coming up on show number like 100 or 101, and it turns out that you were on show number 1.
Number 1. I was the first Laura Shepherd guest.
Well, there you go. And so I'm glad to have you back now. So if you'll sing us a song, I'm going to give you both these microphones. I don't know, it might be good to put one on the other side of you there. I'm going to let you sing us a little number.
I thought you put on his beard for a second.
Yeah, you can speak. Oh, yeah, you can. We're going to pinch it right on your beard.
Probably going to end up there anyway.
There we go.
Did I get
So
it?
you got, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this for you. It's like getting ready for the ball.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta,
ready for the prom?
there you go. Hopefully that'll work. All right, I'm going to give you the stage. You can even move to the center if you wanted.
Center stage.
Center stage.
Center stage, here we go. I usually play something newer. I'm going to go way back to about 1991 and pick one out that I wrote. That was about the time Jimmy Baker, Oral Roberts, and Jerry Falwell all was getting in trouble for hotel rooms and whatever. This is a song for those guys. Well, Sunday morning turned on TV to a show called PTL. Preacher Jimmy Baker tell me on a train bound for hell. But I didn't have to worry, 'cause for me he would pray. If I'll send a donation to his Heritage USA, you better have a little talk with Jesus, Jimmy. Think you lost your way. Take it out off with Jesus, Jimmy. Yeah, get on your knees and pray. 39. There Jerry Powell study had his arms spread wide crying. Well, he asked me to forgive him for things that he had done. That ain't my job to forgive, and he's talk, but number one, you better have a little talk with Jesus, or tell him about the hotel room. I don't claim I know everything, but I don't think he'll approve. You better have a little talk with Jesus, Jerry. Look up to your way. Have a little walk with Jesus, Jerry. Get on your knees and pray. Well, it's getting kind of bored. Change the channel one more time. There, old Robert Stud is feeding me a line. Said if I didn't send him money, God's gonna call him home. Well, how can God need so much money when the streets are paved with gold? You better have a little talk with Jesus, or tell him about your plan. Been robbing poor old ladies just to build your promised land. You better have a little talk with Jesus, or think you lost your way. Have a walk with Jesus, or get on your knees and pray. Yeah, this is for all you preachers. I see you on TV too. Been begging me for money. I got this to say to you. It's only my opinion. You can take it for what it's worth. Can't buy your way to heaven, Lord. You can't build it here on earth. You better have a little talk with Jesus, preachers. You ain't no angels flying. I believe when Jesus comes, all he won't need a water slide. You better have a little talk with Jesus, preachers. Think you lost your way. Have a little talk with Jesus, preacher. Get on your knees and pray.
With these things. We'll get you back up here in a minute to talk about something else. You're
Oh,
just
that was
gonna
great.
pick
What's
up
that one called?
What's it called? People want
TV preachers, I think.
TV
TV preachers. Lord of mercy.
Lord.
Lord of mercy. Start talking about Jesus, you get in trouble.
Well, Sunday, you know.
Bless his heart.
All right. All right. I think we're gonna get Lev and Rebecca to get up here and talk about the Florida Fruit Company.
Oh, cool.
How does that sound?
Let's do it.
Okay. Do we need? Come on up.
All right, Rebecca.
Oh, lovely manners. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your coming. I appreciate your time. Lev, what a pleasure to see you.
Pleasure to be here.
All right. So I guess if I put this one on you, kind of right like that, and I put this one on you over here, we'll all be heard. Now, there was a little bit of a disaster earlier that we went offline in the middle of your song, but the other camera got it. So hopefully we'll stay online now. There's,
Live, maybe.
I can't control the internet. I mean, I'm just like, but
Do you have the internet?
yeah, we have the internet, but it didn't seem to help. All right, so you have, tell me, what do you have?
We have a fruit business.
A fruit?
And, yeah, I want to say, is it a business? I would say it is a business.
Is it
But we
fruitier
have
than this outfit?
We have a fruit. We have a fruit fanaticism.
Okay.
And we have fruit here as well.
Okay, and what do we?
bearing fruits.
Become bearing fruits, and what? Tell me, how does this fruit business work, Rebecca?
What is our fruit?
Mainly, the thing that we do is we harvest and collect fruit from local farmers, local farms all over Florida, some south, some north, some right here in St. Pete, and we bring those fruits together and we make them available to Florida people. There's so many fruits and abundant food that's growing here in Florida, but there's an opportunity for folks to learn more about what those fruits are, to taste them, and then also to know where to go to get them, different than going to the grocery store or the kind of standardized commodity fruits that are available.
All right, so we're going to look at some of these interesting fruits, but before we get to that, let's say I wanted some of your fruits. The Florida Fruit Company, www.floridafruit.co.
Yes.
.co.
And how if I go there, what will happen to me?
So if
For me,
there,
what will
if you
happen
go
for
there,
me?
you will learn more about us, the business,
Mhm.
the way that we operate, our values, and also you'll be able to purchase on there a fruit box. So you'll be able to either purchase a one-time fruit box, which really helps us. You can buy it for yourself, you can give it as a gift.
And these are fruits that you've gone out the week before and locally collected.
So whether we've actually collected them with these hands, or whether folks like the actual farmers collect them and we pick them up and bring them together, combination of things.
Okay.
But yes, that have been harvested within the week before you are
Fresh fruit.
purchasing.
Oh my
Exactly.
gosh.
Fresh
It's
fruit.
fresh
novel.
fruit. It's most of it is within 4 to 8 hours of harvest. Some of it is maybe a few more days within the week. But it's all like our main places. We go to Pine Island throughout the summer, and then in the winter it's Homestead, Florida, Miami, because tropical fruit still grows there. And then we do Citrus County, because I live on a citrus farm right now, so it kind of makes it easy to harvest the citrus. And all around me we have citrus, lots of winter fruit, peaches, blackberries, all strawberry. That's the beautiful thing about Florida, is that we have fruit here that we can eat year round. But a lot of people don't know a lot of the tropical ones. In the summer, it's like, oh, we don't have vegetables to eat here. We can't, fresh vegetables are harder, also unfamiliar. But so much fruit grows here. It's such a blessing.
We could become fruitarians for the
We
summer.
could easily be fruitarians for a couple months.
Am I correct in assuming that like I can order a fruit box to come once a week? Is that right?
So to kind of finish out that, so you can order a one-time box on our website, or you can become a member. And when you become a member, you essentially sign up for a monthly subscription. So a little bit different than the CSA model, where you're signing up, kind of transitioning from signing up for 3 months, for example, to you can make a monthly commitment. And with that commitment, you can decide if you want to get a box once a week, or if you want to get a box once every 2 weeks, depending on how big a box you want. We have small and large boxes, and then how often you want the box. That'll affect the price of the package that you choose, the membership that you choose. That helps us and our farmers.
That is so amazing. So are these some fruit? Can we look at some fruit?
Let's do it,
Bring
yeah.
out the fruit.
All
Bring
right,
out the
slowly
fruit.
move with this,
Yes. Bring us the fruit.
So one thing I wanted to highlight, and we could all share right away.
Let's put it, yeah.
It's the
Bring
watermelon.
Bring the fruit, maybe.
Come right on to the front
Can
here.
we? See, this is actually one of the last ones, so it's a little bit smaller. Usually they're bigger, but
That's a watermelon?
this is a smaller watermelon. It's called the Florida Best. This was grown by Eric Law. Shout out Eric from Greens and Things Farm. And so he's a local St. Pete farmer. He grew this in St. Pete, urban farmer, you could say. And this has one thing we like to do is
something's going on.
We stopped streaming.
Well, that's what you can't do anything about that. Just keep going.
Yeah,
it'll come up. The second camera is rolling, and we post it live on YouTube the Sunday after, and it'll be there permanently. So I cannot control the internet.
Oh, this is a beauty.
Look at that
Look at
thing.
that.
Oh!
So you can see this beautiful, and you could actually eat the rind. So yeah, we've eaten a couple of these in the last week. This is called the Florida Best, and it's been grown here for hundreds of years. And apparently, there were some indigenous tribes here. I don't know if it goes how far back exactly it goes. Just don't quote me on it. But what I've heard is that they used to grow it so that most of them have this little kind of crook neck, and so that they could carry the melon around as they harvest and walk with it. And
I want to taste some.
yeah, that's how it's supposed to look. And it usually has even more of a crook. And then, but most of them are bigger. And lately, there's been one farmer, Farmer Will, in Florida. I forget his name, this farm, but he's been saving seeds for selecting them for more like what we like, and what more American buyers are used to.
You mean more rounded?
Yeah, just more round and uniform.
Will you cut it up and let us all taste it?
So yeah, we're gonna taste it. Oh, this is
Taste
for
it.
display only. It's display only.
No, taste.
All right.
How did you get involved in Rebecca? How did you get involved in doing this? Why?
Well, Lev used to have a smoothie truck, and so when COVID happened, he had a lot of fruits, but nowhere to sell the smoothies. So I think it was a natural transition for him, sourcing fruit and looking for fruit for himself for the truck, local fruit, and then I kind of observed that, and I would say, me personally, I've been on a journey of health and wellness and of human optimization, right? And
no chatting while you pick. No chatting in the audience.
To say thank you.
Okay, no thanking. All right, carry on. You're on a path to health and wellness.
And human optimization. And
human optimization.
Yeah.
That's starting to sound pretty scary.
And
Are we going to genetically modify?
Well, no, how do we feel as well as possible? How do we nourish our brains as well as possible? How do we nourish our bodies and our communities, the ecosystem? And part of that for me comes back to what are we eating? You know, and when we think about what we're eating, it's not just you know, what is it, but it's what are the nutrients, how nutrient dense is it, how nutritious is it really, and that gets me back to not just vegetables but fruits, and knowing where your food comes from, and also in addition to that, eating food that comes from nearby, so that you're experiencing the alchemy of the elements that are around you that get infused into the plant, and then we get fed by and nourished by. So,
All right, what else? What else? What else? What else?
So right now we have in season, and we try to do all Florida fruit, but not everything grows here all the time. So for example, we have some rambutan right now. We do carry some exotic, meaning, you know, out of the country, and rare and yummy fruit that people request. So that's like soursop. We have some local, but not in quantity, rambutan. And then, for example, we got some muscadines from Georgia. So the muscadines are in season right now. Persimmon, just harvested on Pine Islands. American persimmon. Oops. It's not quite ready to eat.
Oh, darn you, we'll just have to wait.
And this is the one that's this builds patience, this fruit. You can work on that virtue with persimmon, because persimmon is the fuyu one, the one that looks like a UFO, you could eat like an apple, raw. This one you have to wait for it to get super ripe, almost till it looks like soft and like it's rotting. And then it's just like this custardy pudding like fruit. My grandma used to wait for it to get super soft, and then she put it in the freezer, take it out, cut in half, eat it like sorbet. So good, right out of the fruit. And yeah, you only try this raw once because it's super astringent, and you're like your whole mouth is dry. So you only make that mistake once. So that's some of the things we have that come in our seasonal fruit boxes. That the fruit boxes get only Florida fruit, nothing imported, unless you of course request it. But it's all Florida fruit that we've harvested in the last couple days, because the proximity to the fruit, as well as the freshness, all of that plays a huge role in what the nutritional value of the fruit is. Because just because the ORAC value is high, if the fruit's not fresh, it's not actually representing that, like, you know, that nutritional value that they say at the stores.
All right, we gotta get through some. We gotta get some fruits and through some fruits in 3 minutes.
Oh, we do? Oh my God! So
That's
we also have these
lime.
beautiful limes. Look how juicy they are.
That lime. Oh,
And
look at
pink
that.
lemons. So the problem is these pink lemons, most of them go out of state. So we're trying to distribute. Like, you can't find these anywhere.
Wow.
You can find them at the Saturday morning market. Yeah, check that out. The Eureka variegated pink lemon.
Oh,
you know,
goodness.
pink lemonade.
Pink
And
lemonade, baby.
we're gonna try all this fruit after the show. Okay.
Of course, we have fresh coconuts.
Fresh coconuts.
We have mangoes that are just finally. We're mourning the last week of mango season, but we'll be back next year. And we just had a super lovely seasonal mango box where you got
Can
to
you
try.
show us how to pop into that?
In the coconut.
Yeah, we didn't bring a straw out, but you have these funny tools.
And then I also have some prickly pear. You might find
Oh,
this
yeah,
growing
the-
around,
yes,
actually.
prickly pear cactus.
It's lovely, beautiful red color. I just want to cut that up for you guys. This is
Oh, my
this
goodness.
beautiful fruit that you can use in water you can just mix in water, any kind of cocktail, drinks. It doesn't have a huge flavor, but it's a nice little floral, rosy flavor. And yeah, it grows all around. So that's the point, is like, kind of showing you we could eat so much fruit that grows around. There's cactuses in Gulfport that have like 200 of these, you know, that I drive by
There's
regularly.
some out the back gate.
Yep.
They're a
Don't
little
eat the
different.
skin.
Don't eat the skin. It is a cactus
It's
fruit.
a cactus. It comes in- it could be prickly.
Yes.
And that's part of the reminder, is fruit can be fun, sexy,
And
delicious, juicy, and really enliven a gathering, but also any plate, you know, any meal, and yeah, we're excited
That's a cool
about
little
sharing
tool. You just pop the. That's a cool
Yeah, this
little
is a tool. It's a coconut opener. Makes your life easier. We serve fresh coconuts at the Saturday morning market, Corey Avenue Market as well. These ones are a little mature, so we'll see how this goes. Sometimes we got to machete them. Usually they pop right through, but I have a feeling this one is.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
got it.
there it went.
We got it.
Okay, so you're just poking it in the side. You popped off that little.
Yeah, you kind of expose the more sensitive area,
the
if
petal.
you will, and then
Yes,
There
but
we
you
go.
said
Here
you
comes the
thought,
juice.
oh, there comes the juice. You said it might be kind of hard because they're getting a little more mature.
Yeah, through the season they get more mature and harder to open with this tool. You can still open it with a machete easily and drink it. So now the meat, as they mature, there's a little more meat, it's a
Yeah.
little harder, it's still water, and you know.
Can I pour some of this in
But
my
it
mouth?
might be coconut beer when it gets mature, so you might get,
Might
might
be
get
beer?
lucky.
yes, you may. Let's see what we got.
Ah!
Oh, it's not as good, huh? All right, let me finish
It's
cutting this
running down
melon.
my chest.
I was waiting for it to dribble down your chin.
As she was saying, fruit can be sexy.
I know, right?
Fruit
Case in point.
sexy. It is sexy, period.
It is. I'm not can be. Fruit is sexy.
Fruit is sexy. That might be our new motto.
After the show, we will definitely put a straw in there or make it more.
And we
let
have another
everybody-
one for folks.
That's one of the advantages of being here in person.
You get to try fresh watermelon.
Fresh fruit.
Fresh
All right, now, you're
You
still
want to pass
hooked
this
up.
around?
Oh yeah, somebody else pass that around.
Thank you.
Rebecca, thank you so much and I'm going to ask Stephen to come up and talk about other things with Lev. Lev, you are just here.
Yes.
I'll trade you
Sounds
for
great.
this microphone.
All right.
Hey, I really appreciate your making it possible for people to get actual local fresh fruit. And you know, there's the picking the fruit and the eating of the fruit, but there's the business aspects of it.
Yeah.
And so, Florida Fruit Company.
Yeah, or the other.
Are you in market somewhere?
Yeah, like Lev said, we're at Saturday Morning Market downtown, and then we're at Corey Avenue Market. And yeah, that's exactly what the business is for, is supporting the farmers that are already growing things to get their fruits to people that want to eat it, and really providing a service to the economy, the local food economy.
Okay, and will you reach for
And
those
a few
little
other
plants right there?
places.
Just that little plant right there.
All right.
Oh, she gets one.
This is a little sweet potato plant for you. I hope that it brings you joy.
Thank you. I'll put it in my garden.
All right.
Pleasure.
All right, Steve, can you join us on the stage? Okay, because what we have here, lean that way. We're having Stephen Ambrose is going to join us, and Stephen and you, Lev, are involved in Wonderfield Farms. Is that correct?
Yes, I am the.
Wipe this watermelon off.
I know.
He mostly wipes watermelon off his barrier at Wonderfield,
That's my job.
and is also the lens.
I shower in Lev's fruit.
Yeah,
Wonderfield
and
Farms.
then our lovely outdoor show. Once.
What happens at Wonderfield Farms other than eating fruit and outdoor showering?
Well, Wonderfield Farms was it was originally an old citrus grove called Baines Grove, and for a long time, Howard Baines, who owned the property, was going fishing with the Hubbard family, who has Hubbard Marina here in St. Pete. So over many years, he was trying to sell them the property, and eventually they ended up buying it. He wanted them to have it because he knew they would preserve it and keep it that he didn't want to develop. So basically, they bought it, and over the last 5 years, you know, and maybe in 2015 it was or something, but especially over the last, you know, I would say 5 years, it's really been developing into a sustainably minded farm, garden, community, and retreat center. So we do retreats up there. We're building a glamping village.
A glamping
glamping
village.
village.
Okay.
People could stay.
Glamping.
People could. You're coming. I know. Glamping village gets everybody. We're like, people don't want to stay in houses anymore. Even they want to stay. They want to glamp.
We have 4 tents going up currently.
Yeah, 4 tents going on.
And so, if somebody wanted, why would I come stay? Just
So what we are, yeah, let me just say, because it's a lot of things going on in one project, but
Okay.
it is on 66 acres of that borders 10,000 plus acres of Flying Eagle Preserve, and so it's just a magical kind of slice of old Florida. It's like walking into a portal between like the Spanish moss. We're bordering a canal on all sides except one property.
Natural spring in it.
The
We have
waters, and we call it
cypress-
Wonder Water.
Cypress swamps,
where do we go?
an oak forest. It's
We're
beautiful.
going home Monday. You guys are welcome to ride with
Now,
caravan.
where is this place?
So it's in Floral City, Florida, which is nice. It's a really
Floral
old
City.
rustic town. It's got
it's far away from the highway, so 41 goes through, so you go through Brooksville and then Floral City. And then we're kind of on this interesting little island part. I don't know, it's like you make a turn, it's called Gobbler Road, and then it's just a series of bridges and swamp islands, and eventually just kind of like arrive at Wonderfield, and it just opens up, and we have cows out there, pastures, we have new citrus groves, old citrus groves. It's kind of this like, we got a real taste for the past and trying to leave the land alone to a degree, preserve it, and also we're bringing in this, what's really needed right now, which is people are really struggling to find places to live, so we're focused on building community. People are looking for ways to, retreat and grow and be in community, so we have these retreats we set up through the fall. We host like the permaculture convergence is coming through in December. We have gut healing retreats. We have little festivals we're doing now too. We got one coming up on November 11th. Kirtan Games. Swamp Stock on December 4th.
What do you do there, Stephen?
I am the land steward.
The land
So
steward.
I am responsible for maintaining 66 acres of pasture, old oak forest, keeping the trees alive and so that the vines don't crawl up them and kill them. We clear vines a lot. There's a lot of storms. We clear debris. We have pastures for the cows, so we let them graze 3 pastures.
And are
then
these
another 14
milk
acres.
cows or beef cows that we're raising?
Beef cows.
These
Beef
are- yeah,
cows.
so, now, if I wanted to come, how would the Wonderfield on Facebook, or another way to get, how would I
I
get
think
it?
we have a website, www.wonderfield.com, I believe.
Wonderfield Farm.
Wonderfieldfarm.com.
Wonderfield
have-
Farm.
It's
We're gonna have
beautiful.
to,
You can
somebody
get a
type
really
that
great,
in the comments.
We have-
Wonderfieldfarm.com.
We have 4 Airbnbs on property, so you can
Oh.
come up and stay. We have a few campsites right now already, I think 3. And then we have the glamping tents, the glamping village being built right now.
Right, so if I wanted to come, say, for a vacation, I could just go on Airbnb and rent a room from you all.
You can, yeah. And that's kind of what's happening now, but like the true glory and spirit of this project for me is that we're creating like a regenerative sanctuary where people can come and not just stay, but like really get inspired about how they can transform their life and what they can do in their community. And basically in a place that's educational, our goal is to be able to be fully self-sufficient, feed 15 to 20 people within the next 3 years, and building out a whole community.
And how many people currently live on property?
Right now we have, I believe, there's 3.
3 basically on the farm full-time, and then 2 more who live a block away in one of the Airbnbs right now
Yeah.
that will be available in like a month. Because we're having new staff quarters being built on property. The new barn homes, we're having them delivered.
Oh.
Where we can just
And who's the enlightened despot? Like, who makes up all the rules?
Mhm.
Because,
we
I
have-
love
this
this
is
community.
actually-
All this
yeah.
community is great, but who's in
Yes.
charge?
Well, right now it's been the Hubbard's family. They've bought the land. They've been working this whole thing, and it's their land. But we're working on this model of basically lots of people own land. Really, they need people to come help create these communities. How can we build a model on top of the fact that in American society, individuals tend to own land? How can they, without surrendering their ownership, also have a fair share, which is a permaculture value? So we're working on, within a year, creating an LLC, people buying stake and share in the land, so there's community stakes, everyone has some stake. Right now we have a leadership team that ultimately meets once a week. We have a really, beautiful way of kind of like, right now, we're in such a growth phase, we don't have the community yet, so it's like we're still building the infrastructure to bring in all of those systems, which is so important, like almost you have to have like a human resources,
Well, that's what I wonder. Like, under what principles do you all make decisions, or?
Well, we have a core values system, which is basically we're looking for people who are harmonious. We're trying to be in harmony with nature, connected people who are just connected to the land. That's like, what is the land trying to tell us? That's first and foremost. We don't want to move too fast, for example. That tends to be the tendency in our society. And then, so we're always checking ourselves there. We want to have discerning and develop discerning leaders, who can come, feel what we're
Develop
doing, they want to do.
discerning leaders. I like that
Connected,
word.
heart-centered leaders.
Okay, is there a question from the?
Yeah, Leslie's couldn't find the website or the Facebook page, but she's asking, is it onefieldfarm.com?
Wonderfield.
Wonderfield.
Yeah.
Wonderfield.
WONDERFIELD farm.
If you just put Wonderfield Farms and Groves in a Google search, it'll be the first website that pops up.
And Grove. We'll see, and then
And
maybe
you can try their
after-
oranges.
and we
Guess
can
where?
try- Guess where?
Florida fruit co-op,
Ah.
all winter long, hand harvested. He keeps the vines off the trees. I harvest the oranges, and they're the sweetest, most amazing old school variety.
I know. I can't wait to taste
Can't
these
wait
pink
for
lemons,
citrus
frankly.
season. Mangoes are gone, but the citrus is looking great right now.
All right. Okay. So back to you're trying because I think it's amazing that you do these fruit boxes and that you're working on this farm and that you're living out there. I'm interested in this. A lot of people think they want to start a community, but what I find is people don't want to live in community. I want to be the boss and I'll rent you a room, but
Yeah.
you know. So how are you guys going to? How do you feel? Because one time I went to a Buddhist thing one time I went to a Buddhist thing. Anyways,
First, you have to
there
surrender
was-
all your possessions.
Yes, there was some.
Sign over
No,
your
but there
life.
was some Lama talking, and then there was all these Buddhists in the audience, and he opened the audience up to questions. And the first question out of the box from the Buddhist was, "How do you deal with conflict in your satsang?" So, you know, I don't care if you're a Buddhist meditator or a fruit farmer. How are you guys dealing with
So we just had our state of the company meeting, and
state of the company meeting?
and that got brought
State
up.
of the company.
And there's this 4-segment thing. Let's see if I can remember it. Man, something storm. The other thing.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember it?
You
Don't worry, it's all working great. They can't remember what it's called. They don't need
It's
it
just
yet.
what-
So
No,
First you
continue.
storm together, you figure out what's going on, then you like form together, or then you
And then
transform,
you-
then you form.
then you
There's definitely
form,
some
then you
storming
perform.
during our meeting.
we haven't worked it out yet.
We usually,
Okay.
whoever
But we
wins the
got-
wrestling match.
We just got
wins the
really
box.
lucky with the core group that's there right now. We're all developing really good friendships, and we're all able to communicate directly with each other. We use Slack, and most of
Slack?
Slack.
What's
It's
Slack?
an app.
It's an app.
It's
Oh.
an app.
Okay. It's
We're able
an
to
app.
communicate about stuff basically through it. That's like kind of departmentalized. So everyone's held accountable for certain things, but things are. We have a small enough group now where it's able to sort it out. But like as it grows, we're gonna definitely need systems.
Right. Do you all have?
We're reading books.
Yeah. You're good. You're reading books. Oh, I have a book for each of you all here.
Ooh.
Allow me to.
No, we have weekly meetings that go over.
Here you go.
Yeah.
You get Bill Moyers just because I heard you read the title, and you get
Oh.
the American Wildflower.
Yeah,
Oh my
this is
God.
for me.
I hope that these books are a pleasure, and pass them on when you no longer need them.
Thank you.
But that one is full of beautiful plants.
I need
so
this. I need a lot of
I-
plants
it's an
over here.
incredibly beautiful book, and
Thank you.
I think fooling with words will help you. So you guys can communicate through it. So do you have a weekly meeting?
Yep.
A
We have
weekly meeting.
and we basically
How long
an
is
hour
your-
long.
hour
It's
long.
called an hour and a half long, but an hour of it's called IDS, identify, discuss, and solve. So we have to have these weekly kind of high level meetings that start and end on the same time every day or every week, you know, and we basically have our to-do list, we have our rocks, and we're always consulting our year-long, 3-year-long, 10-year-long vision. And kind of these rocks, like if we want to move forward, we got to get this rock out of the way, accomplished. It's not a goal. It's like we need to do this to move forward. You know, it's kind of a necessity. So we approach everything like if we want to accomplish our 3-year vision, we need to do this within a year, and if we want to do this within a year, we need to do this within this many months. And so that's been creating a lot of traction. It's been really great.
Yeah, there's 6 or 7 of us that work on the project, and they have their leadership meetings once a week, and then we also, the 3 people that live almost full-time on the farm, we have a meeting every Tuesday morning too. So we have meetings among everybody, and everything gets talked about, and we all have our roles.
And then through the apps, everybody can see what other people are doing the rest of
Correct.
the week without pulling us all into a meeting.
Correct.
You can
Yeah,
check
it's
up on
nice,
things on the
yeah.
app.
And really, you're not even supposed to like make the app about like, oh, do this or that. We kind of take notes, save things, talk, identify, discuss, and solve during the meeting. But the app is just about like, hey, I need this. Can you help me here? Can you kind of link through this? This is here. This is there. Hey, we're having a meal. We just created a meal channel to try to build traction with community meals. So we're gonna start having more events now that it's the winter. Like open mics, a beautiful barn, stage, you know, we just got the lights going. What have you? Let's have you. We should do the Laura Shepherd show up there.
We will do a Laura Shepherd show up there. Yes, we will do
The
that.
permaculture convergence.
Yes, we'll look at a date for
We
that.
do
Yeah.
yoga almost every morning. We have drum circles, bonfires, community dinners.
It's a good time. Kumbaya.
Okay, well, I want to thank you all both for coming and talking about it, and I can't wait till after the show when we can eat some more of these beautiful fruits. I hope your American Wildflower book and your Bill Moyer's Fooling with
Wow.
Words book,
Thank you so
hopefully
much.
these things will help you
Fooling
all.
with words.
And I thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and I would,
Thank you so
I
much.
think it
It's
would
so
be great to do a Laura Shepherd show from the
that.
farm one day.
Beautiful.
Because we do away shows occasionally.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yay, my friends, isn't this exciting? Speaking of things, I was growing things. This was part of my costume. You know, I was wearing a dang feather boa, and do you see this? I had to throw the feather boa in the garbage can because everywhere I went, these feathers, you see,
Like,
it's
as you
just
can
like,
see.
it's just leaving trash behind, and people are like, oh, it's a feather. I'm like, no, it's some weird dry, And then this was, because as Miss Gloop, I guess I was chocolatey, and for some reason she has these fudge sickles, Miss Gloop. Madame Gloop. But that's, I will say that I've grown these sweet potatoes right here in my very own yard in a half barrel, and I'm letting them dry for a little while. And then this one is wanting to, if I broke this little knobbly off, I bet it would grow. Oh, all right, who wants a baby sweet potato? There, that one will grow. The one I gave you is a different variety. But I'm going to cook this baby up soon. This one's almost as big as my head. It does have a few little holes. There's these, what are they? What do they call them? It does have a face in it. I have been, look, see the kissy lips? I've been wondering, you know, is this a kissy one? Are you supposed to, is this, the other side, oh yeah, there you go, there's an angry face. It depends on, you know, I'm not sure. I've been trying to determine whether this is a happy vegetable, if this vegetable wants to be eaten, whether this will actually be good for me to eat. I know, he's kind of, I mean, he ain't as pretty as I am, but maybe if he had a sparkly dress on.
But he's just as pretty.
There it is. This is the.
He's ready for Halloween. I think you should save him for Halloween.
Save him. I don't know. You know, I'm not sure how long, which one I'm going to cook first. But just want you people to know that down right here on the Laura Shepherd farm, things are going. Okay, Duke, can we get you back up here to talk about? Now, my neighbor Duke, he's always got a project going on, and these days his project has to do with electric bikes. Yay. All right, bring a bike onto the stage.
Ride it on the stage.
All right. I might need a hand. I don't know. Can you get around the corner?
I believe it.
Okay. Look at this. Bring it on, brother. Woo! All right. So you just decided to start building electric bikes.
Well, what? When did we get our first stimulus check a few years ago? I needed something to spend it on, and so I bought an electric bike on eBay and kind of got interested in them. And then, if you notice around, man, you see more and more e-bikes going around every day. And there's a couple ways you can do it. You can go to the shop and they get one pre-built, designed as an e-bike, and they're really pretty good. So, can you hand me my computer right there?
Yeah, I'll hold that for you for a minute. Yep. All right. So this bike was not a pre-built one.
No, I started learning how to build them, and orders and kits to do it with. They're basically three parts to them. You know, you got your motor and a controller system and your battery. But
This is the controller system. This is the battery, and
Yeah.
that's the motor?
yes,
Okay,
kinda.
kinda. Now you go
But
by
here's an example. This guy here's a E-Zip Metro 3.
yeah.
It was bought about 6 or 8 years ago by a guy in North Carolina. He rode it a lot the first year, and then he put it in his garage and didn't charge it. Left it for a year or so without charging, and then the battery don't charge anymore. So he paid $3,000 for it, and my oldest son bought it for $450, which seemed kind of like a good deal, except there's no battery in it, and you can't buy a battery for it. They don't make the battery anymore. If you want to fix the bike, you got to learn how to build an e-bike battery and build a battery yourself to fit this controller.
Right, so this for me is like, okay, everybody's buying these e-bikes, and then they become obsolete, can't even be fixed. First of all, there's nobody that knows how to fix them, and second of all, there aren't the parts to fix them.
Yeah. Thanks for giving my lecture.
Oh, shut up. Oh, sorry. You tell them.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And you can go to, Walmart. If you look on the Walmart site, they usually don't have them in the store, but you can order an e-bike for, I've seen them as little as $350. But if you get that e-bike and in a year or two something breaks on it, the shop ain't gonna fix it. You know, the bike shops, first of all, they don't know that much about e-bikes anyway. They're used to working on mechanical bikes, you know? They don't know that much about it. Plus, they ain't gonna wanna fix a $350 bike that you bought from Walmart when they're selling $3,000 bikes.
Yeah.
So,
I want you to buy another bike.
so that's one reason I like to kind of stay away from the store-bought stuff. And I learned that you can buy kits for these, like a kit for this one. Well, I bought this one in pieces. but
Which isn't as easy as you'd think.
yes. Just an example, the motor up there, that's the Bafang motor. It's one of the best motors built, but it was on the surplus shelf where they built 1,000 of them for like a city bike company or something, and then the deal fell through, so they couldn't sell the wheels, so they put them on eBay. I bought that for $30, and it cost $40 to ship it. Now, normally that's $250 wheel right there. Batteries. These will always bolt on a bike. You know, if you buy one from a shop with the battery inside the frame or whatever, when that battery goes out, you're gonna have trouble finding one. But these guys pop off here. Oh, I've got the lock on this one.
Up.
But anyway, they're designed to bolt on to all the bikes has got on your down bar. You got a place for a cup holder or your bottled water holder. Well, these batteries are supposed to be designed to bolt on into barrels there. But I've never come across a bike yet that they fit on. They always fall too close down here, too high up here, you can't get the battery on. So, you know, you run into problems like that. Sometimes the wheels don't fit. I've run into problems where, you know, too wide for the forks, so you have to spread your forks out, which ain't good on a bike. But you run into a few problems putting them together. And you make your fair share of mistakes. Like on this one, I learned that the best way to do these things was get your wiring up inside the frame, drill a little hole here and run your wire down to the controller, and that way. I thought that was great. And so I did it on the front wheel. You know, so I brought the wire in here, come out the frame, put the motor on it. Well, I put it on the wrong side. When I put the wheel on and plugged it in, the bike was all running backwards. Mistakes, you learn. So I turned the motor around and run a wire up over top and down to this side. Cured that. These are a nice little bike. You know, this is like the Florida bike too. It's a 350 watt motor. It does plenty good. It'll take you 20 miles an hour. It'll move you up and down the ramps going down the trail and everything. Okay. You can choose the pedal. They use a throttle, or right here is a sensor that can tell when you're pedaling, and it starts adding power to the bike depending on how fast you're pedaling. They make 3 different types of motors for them. This is a front wheel drive. The thing makes a mid drive that puts the motor down there where your pedals are, and they make a rear drive that I'll show you in a minute. This is another different about this motor. it's got a planetary gear inside, like the rear end of a car, so the motor's spinning like 600-800 RPM, but out here it's just turning 20 because you got a set of gears in there, it's gearing everything down, so you don't have to have much powerful motor to go just as fast. And they come with different kinds of controls. This one here will show you miles per hour. It'll show you trip distance, how much current you're drawing, what the voltage your battery is, all kinds of stuff like that. It's a little LED display. I guess you can see that right there with the camera maybe. And it's got 3 different screens that tells you how long it's been on, so on and so forth. I noticed this has got an error. That just cleared up. But anyway, you got that type of display. That's a little bit more expensive. Oh, excuse me. And
That box, I bet it looks like a box of parts.
there's a lot of stuff I
It's
blew
kind of
up.
scary.
And here's one of your simplest types. You don't have all this information right here. What you got right here is an indicator to tell you how much battery you got. And they usually come with 3 gears with this style, which is electric. You just flip with a switch, and it'll tell you what gear you're in here, and that's about it. The rest of it's a throttle for the thing. They come that all the way up to this guy. It's called a computer analyst, and it can take, it runs off a shunt down here where your battery is. It can sense how much current it's pulling. It can sense how much force you're putting in the pedals, how fast you're turning the pedals, how much throttle you're giving it. Anyway, it combines a whole bunch of stuff here with these inputs, and it puts out one output to the controller down here to tell us how fast or how much power to get to the motor. Now, this is about as complicated as you can get, and I showed you about as simple as you can get. And it really ain't that much difference in between the two, you know? I mean, if you're really interested, you can find out how many horsepower you use to get down the road or whatever, but really, you know, you turn the thing on, you pedal it. And if it ain't, you know, it's too hard to pedal, you give it a little gas. So there you go. That's about all it takes.
Awesome. And you said it goes like 20 miles an hour?
This one does. The next one I'm going to show you, going to go a little faster.
Hey, you come
This
by
is what-
his house
Might
and
want to
these-
hold off just a second because
Okay,
we
what's the question?
dropped.
Oh, well, that's all right. We're just
Okay.
gonna keep going because it drops out, but the other camera is rolling. and
Okay.
I don't know. What are we gonna do about the internet around here, folks? Let's start complaining. Okay, moving on.
This is
You
what,
come by his house and these bikes are sitting there with these these wires hanging off them all the
Bill
time. They
Gates of
look
bikes.
pretty kind of scary.
what one of the controllers look like on the inside. These are called MOSFETs here. And it's a 3-phase system. You see these 3 spots right here. Anyway, this guy is responsible for making 3 sine waves, current, and they're staggered so that the motor picks up one and it pushes a little bit, the extra picks up, and it keeps pushing it around in a circle. And on the inside of the motor, there's 3 sensors called Hall sensors that can tell where the rotor is in the motor and how fast it's turning. So it reports back to this, and if you give it more throttle, it tells it to turn faster. And that's the way it both goes up and down. This one here, I was running like a demon until a MOSFET blew out. And then another one blew out. And then switched into emergency half-speed mode, so I was going home at 4 miles
Emergency
an hour.
half-speed mode.
And then next it didn't work at all, so I had to order new MOSFETs for it.
All right.
And this guy taught me that, you know, you got 3 wires going out, you got green, yellow, blue, which is your A, B, and C phase, but not all manufacturers wire them up in that order. They might have the green one on the A, some might have the yellow one on the A, but when you put it on the bike and wire it up color to color to your controller, the wheel either don't turn, it turns backwards, or it draws about 5 times as many amps as it should have, you know. There's one combination that'll work, and there's 36 ways to hook it up, so.
And there's no directions.
And no
There's
directions
no
goes with anything.
So you have a lot of
Yeah.
meters to tell you what you've blown up.
Yes.
You know, not
Well,
if something's blown
I've
up.
got
which
meters
piece
and I've
you-
got little trails of smoke that come up out of it.
It tells you which bit you've blown up
Yeah,
lately.
I like that. Computer analyst. Yeah, I plugged it in and smoke comes up, so $118. But anyway, this here's the center hub.
So you're gonna have to start a club, an electric
Basically, we're
bike
coming
club.
over to your house. If
I
you
know,
wanna
but it's
learn
much
how to
more.
do
It's
it.
much more complicated than I thought. I thought I'll go buy an electric bike. Well, now wait a minute. I guess not.
And this here goes in your lower crank, where your wheel is, and it can sense how much pressure you're putting on the crank. And it sends a signal back through these wires here to the controller to tell the controller how much power to give to the
Except
motor.
it's got 5 wires. There's red and black too,
Yeah.
along with your yellow and green and blue.
Easy to blow up. But
All right, I'm gonna take this off.
anyway,
Alright.
it's
All
true.
Love it.
Because, you know,
All right, let's do. We can take this one off and bring the next one on.
Yes.
Somebody, will you take this
Yeah,
one off
sure.
for us? All right, this is what his garage looks like to me every time I pull up. It looks like this. You know, it looks like I'm like, what in the world is he up to?
now that was my work and go to the grocery store bike. You notice that the trailer is just the right size that all the groceries you can afford will fit right in it.
And you brought your bike, your guitar up here on the back in the hard shell case. That works pretty good. Could you give somebody a ride in it?
She'd have to be small.
It'd have to be her. I know. No, Laura, I'm not giving you a ride.
But now this is my sport bike. This guy here, well, I've had it up to 26, 28, and I let off. But I think it'll do better than 30 miles an hour.
What horsepower motor is this one?
This is a 1,000-watt motor back here, and notice it's a direct drive. How much bigger this motor was than the other one. Yeah, there's no gears inside of this. There's just a row of magnets that go around the outside, and your center's a rotor.
All right, now that
These are like, you know, most other motors, they hold the bodies steady, and the shaft spins, and you put a pulley on the shaft. Well, these motors, you hold the shaft steady, and you spin the outside of the motor around the stator.
Now
And
this
that's
is
the way
the
they
thing
work.
this is the bit that worries me. Can you all see this?
Just hanging around.
Yeah, well, that was going to hook up a light till I found out that I didn't have an output on a controller to hook the light to. So
Oh, okay. So we just
I
leave
just
this
had it.
dangling to confuse people.
that was yesterday. I haven't got back to it yet. But anyway, this is a sport model. Yeah, it's got the LED display on it. I was going to put the computer analyst on this, but like I said, I blew it up, so I had to go back to this and step down. If I was going to sell this, I'd ask $1,400 for it. I would say $900 for that one, except I put the motor on the wrong side, so I'd take $700 for that one. So.
Well, and so I guess one of the things that we're learning here is if you go to buy an electric bike, you got to think about who's going to fix it when it breaks. If we buy it from Duke, I guess we can come by and do. Not that you're necessarily in the business, but you would sell one to someone.
Or that I'm actually an expert about fixing them. I have fixed everything so far. It took me a while and a couple of dollars. Like this one has had 2 controllers on it. And but I had trouble with the motor, yeah. So yeah, I had trouble building this one, but it's done now. It's
Listen
nice
to it.
riding bike.
Can you hear? Wait, move it around. Sweet. Can you all
She
hear that?
purrs.
So how long does it take you to
It's that
start
squeaky noise.
usually? I know everyone's gonna be different.
Takes about, right now it's taking about 4 or 5 days to put one together. You know, some guy might be able to slap one together in a day. I don't know. But like I said,
Well,
every
if you
time
always-
you start, you're gonna run into trouble. Like this battery wouldn't fit there with the inserts that was made for. I had to put new inserts in the frame here to get the battery on and everything. Same way with the controller. So yeah, and sometimes the hubs are too wide. This one, originally when I put it on, the chain wouldn't catch the last gear because it's interfering with the frame. I had to spread my forks out some and put some spacers in to get it to work. You know, you say, yeah, it's not just a bolt together kind of situation. You have to tweak and work with things to do
Not
it.
IKEA.
Yeah. What's the distance on the battery? Like how far?
How
can you
far
go?
will the battery take
This
you?
one I'll do about, if you pedal with it, 30 miles. Not pedaling, probably about 20. I took it to Bay Pines and back.
He's taking himself to the doctor on it. Like he's gonna need a doctor. You
So
didn't
do
wear a helmet, though,
Does
don't
it
you?
charge itself as you're going or not?
No.
You have to plug it in. You have to stop
No,
and
it
plug
turns
in.
out that that's not technically feasible on a bicycle. You can do it a bit with a car using regenerative braking and stuff,
Yeah.
but on a bicycle, it turns out it's not that efficient.
All right, well, we got 4 minutes left in this Laura Shepherd show.
All right, well,
Did you want to sing another song or talk about bicycles?
Song.
Or,
any other questions? Eat fruit, talk bicycles.
all right, we can do something.
Anyway,
better.
these right here, whenever you want to take it on a spin, see what they feel like, you're very welcome.
All right. Do you have another quick song you can play?
Yeah.
Well, he
I've
has
got
this
more than
on. You
one.
go get the guitar.
Here, I'll give you
Grab the
coconut.
guitar. No,
Okay.
you hold the bike. Oh wait, you're hooked on. We're hooked on. Lord of mercy.
Just 2 more feet.
Oh, 2 more feet. Okay. We're gonna play the song because Lev was chanting for a song. Take us out of here with a good song. I'm gonna sit here with this box of treasure on my lap. And then we'll say thank you for the next Laura Shepherd show. Be in 2 weeks right here. Hey, go ahead and support me on Patreon, patreon.com/The Laura Shepherd Show. Leave $1 in the tip box. If you admire what somebody's doing, hand them $1 on the street. It'll make them happy. And we got to have a short song here. We got about 3 minutes. I hate it when we run over. Wow, can't get for some reason. You got one you can sing us?
Yeah, you rushing me?
Whoop! Yes, I am. I'm throwing you things on the
Throw
floor.
my stuff on the ground.
There was a pick on the table here when I was throwing things on the ground. There you go. This is one from the other day you lost. That's the one he lost last time.
Want a serious or funny or what?
Funny?
Funny.
Well, I've got a girlfriend, she ain't good looking, but I guess you do. Kind of bow-legged, she ain't good at cooking, and her Hooters ain't a meal for 2. Yeah, she makes me laugh when I feel like crying, she can steal away my blues. One of these days they're gonna drink her pretty, and then what I do. Yeah, now one of these days they're gonna drink her pretty, and then what I do. She got big old eyes and skinny little thighs, and she ain't wrapped too tight. Got a funny little grin, but I guess we're friends, especially late at night. Don't know much about love, yeah, less about women, but at least I'll tell you the truth. Now one of these days they're gonna drink her pretty, and then what I do. What I do. Got funny monkey toes and a turned up nose. She got stubby little hands and fingers. Got a voice she knows kinda husky and low. Oh, she ain't no opera singer. Got a wiggle when she walk and make a dead man talk. In her mini skirt and high heel shoes. Yeah, now one of these days they're gonna drink her pretty, and then what I do. Yeah, now one of these days they're gonna drink her pretty, and then what I do. Oh, now one of these days they're gonna drink her pretty, and then what I do.
Thank you, dude. I really drink her pretty. And that means you drink enough that she turns pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate you being on my first show ever. I appreciate you being on this show. I appreciate everybody out there.
You're off right
It's
here.
off, but hit finish. Then when it comes back on, you can hit finish. This is going to be exciting for the people on YouTube. They'll get the whole show. Okay, dokie, thank you. Yay! All right, yay! Party's over. Now we can have some fruit. Everybody relax.